creeping me out. This guy's creeping me out. Can you get rid of this guy? Well, let's try something here. Seriously, can we get rid of this guy? I call it the backup plan because in case I mess up, I need a backup plan. So we're going to use a trick that uses the 4 aces. Just a shake to face out. It would be even cooler if it was now the ace of hearts.
No.
And under your hand, go ahead, show them off.
No, it isn't.
She's a rock star. That's great. Perfect.
Saw that on eBay.
Awesome. So I had a premonition before we came here. There's a folded card from another deck. Would it be impressive if I knew you were going to pick the 3 of clubs before you even thought you were going to be picking a card? What are the chances that that folded card is also a 6 of clubs? Well, I'm not a miracle worker. Come on. What is it? Just a 6 of clubs, man. Wow. She's like, and then a donkey came out of the box. But look, we'll take the card. We'll take the card. We'll take the card. We'll take it. I'm gonna try and get it out. We'll take the card out. You'll see. Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Hold on.
No.
Drop it on.
Okay, the end is good.
You guys know, in anything in life, if you're doing something for the first time and you're trying to show people and impress them, you don't want to screw it up, right? Anytime you try something new, you play piano, do art, you don't want to be like, oh, I screwed it up and have people think you're stupid. So this is the same idea. It's a new trick. It's with aces. I call it the backup plan because in case I mess up, I need a backup plan. So we're going to use a trick that uses the 4 aces, clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. But in case I mess it up, I'm gonna have someone select a card. If I mess the ace trick up, I'll find the card in a really cool way. Simple idea, right? Can you help me with it? And select any card you'd like. And you'll show everybody, don't let me see what it is, but show it around, I'll turn around. Okay? Yeah, great, great. Cool, and then place it anywhere I would like. Starting good, starting good. We'll mix them a little bit, but again, unless I mess this trick up, we don't even have to find that card, okay? So we'll go back to it at the end if I screw up. Since you started to help me, we'll finish it with it. Out of the 4 aces, which one do you like the best? Clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds? Diamonds, just like a woman. That's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. Perfect. So we're gonna take the ace of diamonds. It'll start face up, here's the idea, and it'll flip face down. If you guys see me flip it face down, then I screwed up and I'll find your card. Is that your card, the Queen of Hearts? Then that's not the trick, okay? Forget that. Ace of diamonds starts face up. We square it in, just a shake. It should go from face up to face down. Now that was quick and you didn't know what to look for, so I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna show you this. There's a little bit of alcohol in the room, so things go a little slower. We'll try again.
I didn't get it.
Ace of diamonds. Face down to face up, but this time visually. Watch. 1, 2, 3.
What?
Okay?
What?
We'll try one last time. And this is the one I usually screw up, okay? So bear with me, bear with me. But again, you could have picked any ace. You could have said ace of clubs, ace of spades, ace of hearts, but you chose the diamonds. So do you write with your right or left hand?
Right.
Right-handed, okay, great. I'm gonna have you put your left hand palm up. I'm gonna put the ace of diamonds in her hand. She's gonna cover it with her other hand, and it's gonna flip in her hand.
Let's do this.
Check it out. Ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds will go face down. And I want you to cover it completely. And can you help just because her hands are kind of small?
Yeah.
Perfect. No problem, no problem. And for the rest of the trick, we don't need the hearts, the spades, or the clubs. We focus on just the diamonds. And if I screw up, I will find your card in a cool way. Okay? This is usually where I bite it here, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Ace of diamonds face down. All I have to do is riffle. You remove your hands, and then slowly lift your hand up. It should be fair. Shit. Okay. That's okay. I said I'd find your card in a cool way. Okay? Check this out. One-handed, out of the middle, 22 cards down, one card flies out of the middle. That'd be crazy if that was your card, right?
It would be crazy.
It would be even crazier if this was now the ace of diamonds. And that was your card.
Wow.
Crazy.
Very nice.
Awesome,
Very nice.
awesome. Hey guys, this is Adam Wilber with Illusionist. This is my effect backup plan. It is inspired by a Bill Malone effect called Think, Touch, Turn off his On the Loose set from L&L Publishing. If you haven't checked those out, do yourself a favor because there is a ton of gold in there. So this is my variation of his effect on there called Think, Touch, Turn, which I believe is his interpretation of a Divernon effect. I do this literally at every single show I do. It's my go-to when someone says do a card trick, this is what I do. I love it. It fits my character, fits my style. I think if you learn the moves and do it with a kind of a fun, entertaining feel, you'll get a lot out of this. People really seem to enjoy it, and let's get into it. I think you're gonna dig it. All right, so this is backup plan. What you're going to need for this is 4 aces. Can really be 4 of anything, but I just generally use the aces. So you can either produce them in a fancy way or just have them out. Now, my presentation for this is that it's very embarrassing as a magician to try a new effect and screw up. So I like to have some sort of backup. In case I mess a trick up, I have a backup to kind of make myself feel better at the end. So under that guideline, I have them select any card, which will be the backup. So what you're gonna do is have them select a card. They look at it, and you're gonna control it to the top. And the way I word this is I just say, if I mess the trick with the aces up, I'll go through and find your card in a cool way. If I don't mess the trick up, then don't even worry about this card, but just keep it in mind. You just control that to the top however you'd like. Generally what I do is push it in the middle, show it in the middle, side jog it, which gets you a break, cut to the break. It looks lost. Draw attention to the aces and ask them, out of the 4 aces, what's your favorite ace? As I'm doing this, I get a break under the top card, which is their selection. What's your favorite ace? Square them up. Whatever ace they name, drop the deck to the side, face up. And that's important in a minute because it's a callback that gives a nice little subtlety. So what I've just done is stolen their selection under the 4 aces. So any ace that they name that are the top 3, it's very simple. What you're gonna do is place the ace they name on the bottom of the deck. If they do name the ace that's directly above the selection, what you're gonna do is, I think it's the Christ alignment move, where you're gonna push their ace forward as you align the other 3 with the selection, okay? So I've got a double here. Say they said the ace of diamonds. I would use my middle finger. I'm holding the ace packet with my second, first, and thumb. I use my second finger to push that ace forward as that packet of aces line up until I feel the selected card with my thumb. Then you peel that out and show the diamond. Okay, so that just lines up their card and moves this one where you need it to be. It looks like a lot of work, but at speed it's very simple. So I would say, which ace do you like? This is just a Ascanio display which shows 4 single cards. I like the ace of clubs, they say. Great, we'll use the ace of clubs. But you wouldn't flash like I just did. So you show 4 aces, they say the ace of clubs. Great, that's what we'll use, the ace of clubs. When you're in this position, the card that they selected, the ace that they selected, goes on the bottom of the deck. I explain, it's gonna start face up, it's gonna flip face down. Hopefully you don't see it flip over. So here's the first one, it goes in face up. With just a shake, it turns face down. And all I'm doing is peeling over 1, 2, 3, showing them single, and they've seen that the ace of clubs is now flipped face up. And they see, you'll see that's the double, and one piece of advice is not to hold it up to eye level and keep your finger here. That hides that double edge. But again, it happens quick. They've just seen the ace of clubs face up, it goes in, just a shake, it's now face down. And you'll notice this ace will also cover that double. I'll take the aces, show that one is turned face down, turn all 3 aces face down on top of it, and then you're gonna peel 3 aces over, still holding this double. The third most ace from the top gets out jogged. The second ace from the top goes underneath the double. That's the double. And the 4th ace goes underneath that one. Okay? So you're now holding all 4 aces and the double in one hand. You re-grip with your right hand. So from underneath you'll see I'm holding all 4 plus their card. And that allows me to reposition everything. So I just pull this up. Basically by repositioning, all I'm doing is taking this double card and separating it just a bit. So I'll pull that up very slightly. And it looks like I'm just adjusting all the cards. What that allows me to do is get this little break right here. Okay, that's the break I need. So from underneath, I can grab it with my finger. I pull downward on it. You'll feel that little flap card, so you're gonna pull downward. From the top, it looks like this. You shake, and that ace turns face up. Okay? From underneath, it looks like this. You've just shown 1 ace turns face down. Turn them all face down. Push over 3. Out jogged. That goes underneath. That goes underneath. You align them all, separating your double. Re-grip to here. So my finger's ready for this. I pull down. As I shake, this gets pushed until it lines up, and you'll feel where it butts up with that other card. And then I go back and forth, which squares it from the top perfectly. And they're left with that image. So one more time at speed. This is probably the most visual part of this routine. It's stunning. You've got to here, 1 ace is turned face down. So I want you to actually see this. So we'll turn them all face down. I say, watch your ace of clubs. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. That is the ace of clubs, but I point to here because that's the one that's gonna turn face up. So I say, watch your ace of clubs as I line everything up on 3. 1, 2, 3. And pause for a second because that's a really nice moment. Okay, so you're here now. So we'll try it one last time. And what you're gonna do, this is a double now. You're gonna come under, pinch the double, pull it out, and place it right on top, and then square everything up. Now you're very free with this. Okay? I get to this moment again. shown it's turned face up. Flip them all down. Do your alignment, miss call, and say, watch the ace of clubs. So the last time we're going to do it in your hand. Grab the double, place it on top, and square everything up. Okay, so now you're here, and to get into the position you need, you're going to peel off the single ace of clubs and explain you could have picked any ace. I'm going to peel a single, and that's going to have a double left in this hand. As I flash, you could have picked the ace of diamonds. Then I pick this next card up, the ace of hearts, or the ace of spades. That's a very free, a very open view for them. They can see only 4 aces, and this is the double. So this now gets me in the position I want, as I take the ace of clubs and put it right here on top. So it goes ace of clubs, their selected card, and the other 3 aces. Now I ask them if they're right or left-handed, because what I'm basically going to do is a top change, okay? I need to get the ace of clubs and their selection to switch. So I'll be in this position and say, now I'm going to do this underneath your hand, right or left-handed. And they'll say right-handed, whatever. I get a break under their selection. I place the ace face down, and I say, put your hand about right there. Perfect. And all I'm doing, it seems bold, but I've never been caught on this. I'm peeling the second card from here. That's it. So instead of a top change, I show the ace. Are you right or left-handed? Great. Put your right hand palm up. Excellent. I'm going to put the ace of clubs face down here, and right there I just did it. So I say I'm going to put the ace of clubs right here, and then I just do a double. I bring this back on, do a double to show the ace of clubs, explain they're going to cover it completely, and underneath their hand it will go from face down to face up, and have them cover it. So one more time, just so this is clear. You've shown their card, I've got a break under their selection. Ask them to move which hand they are, put it back on, gesture as they put their hand out, peel this off, so I've now got their selection, put it right back on top, still holding a break. Do your double to show the ace of clubs without that flash. I say I'm going to put the ace of clubs face down, turn the double over, under your hand. So you've just put their selection there. And I always make a little point and say, cover it completely so there's no back showing, because it'll turn face up under your hand. And if I mess up, I'll go through and I'll find your card in a crazy way. This is where I point back to the deck and I say, is that your card? There'll be one card showing. That's not going to be theirs, obviously, but it's a nice little subtlety where they think it possibly could be. And they say, no, that's not it. And I say, well, then that's not the trick. It gets a little stupid laugh. Now what I'm going to do is show I don't even need the rest of the aces. You turn the whole packet face up. I say I don't need the ace of spades, hearts, or diamonds. And this is a double hiding the club, the ace of clubs, okay? So we don't even need the rest of the aces. We don't need the ace of hearts, the ace of spades, or the ace of diamonds. Then this goes back on the bottom, okay? And all I'm doing there is applying pressure with my thumb as it slides down the card to come up there. Now obviously you don't have to do that. It can be as simple as saying we don't need the ace of spades, hearts, or diamonds. We're just going to use the ace of clubs. And I point to the card that's under their hand, which should be the ace of clubs. This packet gets put on top of the deck. I pick the deck up, say 1, 2, 3, and say slowly lift your hand, because sometimes condensation, the card will stick. They see that it has not flipped face up. And very quickly you go, okay. Well, I said if I screwed up, I'd find your card in a cool way. Now all I'm gonna do is buckle the bottom card, cut it into the middle. Okay, that's gonna allow me to get the ace of clubs to the bottom. So from here, okay, I said I'd find your card in an amazing way. buckle the bottom card. This is a Harry Lorraine move. Boom. So that just cuts the bottom card into the middle as it looks like you're cutting it. So now I've got the ace of clubs on the bottom, and I'm gonna do a variation of Daryl's hot shot cut to get the bottom card to fly out, which they're gonna think is their card, okay? They still think this ace of clubs is on the table, and I say, I'll find your card in an amazing way, like I said. And now we'll go over the variation of the hot shot cut. All right, so you're at the part of the routine now where you're going to apparently produce their card in a flashy way. The ace of clubs is on the bottom, or whatever ace that you've been doing the routine with. You're going to grip the deck in this position, first finger and second finger of the left hand, about halfway. So you're about halfway in the card. Your thumb goes to the back right corner and kicks off about half of the deck here. Okay, it's gonna kick it around that second finger. It's pivoting on your first finger, so your thumb and first finger are holding that packet. It goes all the way around. And now your first finger is gonna slide underneath as you coalesce the two packets. Okay? Your pinky holds this top packet in position from falling out. Now, as they come together, your first finger stays in there and just basically push upward and out just slightly. That's gonna kick out what is the bottom card. And as it does, your second finger will push upward. And that's gonna spring it out like that. So obviously this is gonna take a bit of practice, but it's a beautiful move once you get it down. So you've got the ace that you've done the trick with on the bottom. They think you're gonna produce their card from the middle of the deck. You spin it outward. That pinky comes in to hold this packet here. Kick that all the way around the corner of this packet. As you combine the two packets, your first finger pushes upward. Middle finger pushes directly upward, flings the card outward. Okay? So practice that. Once you get it, you'll use it all the time. It's just a great move. At speed, it would look like this. I told you I would find your card in an impressive way. So one-handed, out of the middle, one card goes flying through the air. And then I say, now this would be cool if this was your card, but it would be a miracle if it was now the ace of clubs and your card is under your hand. I toss the ace of clubs down and walk away like the god that you are. All right, guys. One thing I'd like to say about the backup plan is if you're gonna learn it, make sure you learn it perfectly. You might want to change the presentation. Some people don't like the idea of it being sort of a contest. You know, I'm gonna do it 3 times if I screw up, but use any presentation you want. It's a really good effect. There are a couple finicky moves, but when you learn them, people just love it. There's some really visual parts of it. There's a flashy part where you get to flick the card out of the middle and it spins through the air. So put the time in and practice it, and every time someone goes, oh, you do card tricks, show me something, I would recommend this being your go-to. There's a lot of magic happening. It's interactive, it's fun, there's some good byplay, and just do it the justice it deserves. I've been doing this trick for years and years, and I've gotten a lot of gigs from it. I've gotten a lot of callbacks from it. I really, really like this trick. So please take the time, learn it. If you have any questions about it, feel free, hit me up, adam@illusionist.com, and we'll make sure you get it perfected. So have fun with it, but put the time in, learn it, and go out and kill with it. Enjoy. Hey guys, Adam Wilber with Illusionist here. I'm going to show you one of my all-time favorite tricks. This was inspired by John Kennedy's card box, I think he calls it, mystery card box. Amazing effect. Check it out. I think you can get it at johnkennedy.com, but the main part of this was inspired by that. And what I've done is put it inside of a regular card box, and it allows a few other things to be done as well. We'll start with, this is a box of mystery. It's clear that that box is from a completely different deck of cards. Not yet? Wow.
There's a timer.
Yeah. It's a bit early for skepticism, no? You'll get to it in a minute. I won't touch it, I promise. Wow, who got her? Totally kidding, totally kidding. So we're gonna keep it easy here. Can you help me with it? Okay, I'll riffle, you say stop. Right there. I'm gonna have you sign it, okay? And you stopped at that point for exactly, could you tell the camera your name so they know?
Ashley.
Perfect. I knew I was gonna meet Ashley. I knew she was gonna stop at a card. And I knew it was gonna be the 6 of clubs. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know you don't believe me. Could you take the marker and put your name in big letters across of it? And a lot of times, it sounds weird, but mentalists will say that people will be drawn to cards. Like you could read somebody and say, maybe I have a feeling of this person, they're gonna pick this card. And they'll pick it over and over randomly. And I'll show you what I mean. You can't really help it. I want you to see they are all different cards. They're not all 6 of clubs. But for some reason, you stopped at the exact point of that 6 of clubs, okay? So we'll take the 6, we'll lose it into the deck, we'll mix it a little bit, give it some cuts. And I want you to say stop again, and don't think too much about it. You know, I'll just go through exactly like we did before. I'll mix them so you don't know where it is. And whenever you'd like, you just yell out stop. And we'll see if you're drawn to that card for some reason. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
okay.
Nope. We'll go like this, whenever you'd like.
Okay. Stop.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll cut the deck exactly there. That's what I'm saying. It's not even, there's no way you could predict that, but you're just drawn to this card for some reason, okay? I know, exactly. That's what I said. The first time I said it, I was like, oh yeah, you're full of it. Magic boy, real funny. So he did it again. He did it a 3rd time.
Okay.
This gets so,
all right.
I know, I'm not kidding. Check it out. We'll lose it. We'll mix them. You're gonna hate me by the end of this. But check it out. We'll do the same thing. I'll give him a couple cuts, just so you know.
Okay.
Like that.
Trying to trick him. She's
I'm gonna go very slow, okay? I'm gonna go very slow.
Everybody
Stop.
Right there.
Yeah.
Ooh. Cut right there.
Oh.
Weird. So that's she's basically doing it all. She's stopping at the exact right time. I don't know why, but I did put a box of mystery down from the beginning, yeah?
Right.
And really good magicians, really good mentalists will know from the start. You know, tonight I'm gonna meet one person. That one person's gonna be drawn to one card. Maybe it's the 7, maybe it's an 8, whatever. In your case, it was the 6 of clubs, yeah? I put something in the box and I made it a little different just so you wouldn't go, oh, maybe he slid a different card in there or something. I did it from a different deck, okay? So you can see it's clearly a different deck. And if you look inside, the little folded card, okay? You can all see a folded card inside there. What are the chances that that folded card is also a 6 of clubs?
With my name on it?
Oh shit, I'm not a miracle worker, come on. What is it, just a 6 of clubs, man? Wow, she's like, and then a donkey came out of the box. But look, we'll take the card. We'll take it. I'm gonna try and get it out. We'll take the card out. You'll see. You can see it is a 6 of clubs. And you could have picked any card you wanted.
But she's demanding.
She is, so check this out. Check this out. You know what? Let's take the white. Let's take the white deck. We'll take your 6 of clubs signature. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
No.
And drop it on.
Prove her wrong.
You're lying.
No way.
You can't do this. I don't believe you.
Well done. Well done. Okay, the end was good. I didn't have it until the end. Yes.
So what this is a gimmicked card box, okay? You're gonna have your regular cards in it. It'll be just like having a card box to carry around your cards, but you'll have a little built-in miracle whenever you want. I'm gonna show you the basic principle of this is to show a folded card inside of the box. And then when you pretend to dump the card out, you can show the box again and the card has vanished. Okay? So what does that allow you to do? Lots of things. So first what we'll do is get into how to make this box. So there is some construction involved in this. When I make these, I make about 3 at a time, and that will last me for months. They will get worn out because they're regular card boxes, so I make about 3 up at a time, and I use this thing all the time. I love this thing, and I think you guys will too. So let's get into how to make them. Here are the supplies you're going to need for Boxer. What this is magnetic tape, okay? This stuff is amazing. There is so much you can do with this, but for this effect, I split a card and I put this inside of the card. We'll get into that in detail. There's going to be, at the end of this download, there's going to be a link to a website to where you can get this exact same stuff. Where I found it was at Walmart. I went into the craft section where they have all the beads and stuff, and you can buy this, it's like $4. So for this effect, you are gonna need to get some supplies, but I think it's really gonna be worth it, and once you get this stuff and make the boxes, you're gonna have a great time with it. So, second thing you'll need are thin magnets, okay? There's also going to be a link to where I get these. I get them online, they're very cheap. I got them in 2 days, but you can see they're very thin. And the link will give you the exact magnets to use, because as I was making this, there was a lot of trial and error. If the magnet is too strong, the effect won't work because the flap will get sucked up automatically, and you need it to be just the right strength to use with this tape here, okay? So we're gonna give you exactly the website and the exact model number of magnet to get, okay? So you need those. You'll need an X-Acto knife, Scotch tape, and a glue stick. So Arts and Craft Hour begins now. The first thing we're gonna do is make the gimmicked flap card that goes inside the box. And what you'll need for that is the Ace of Diamonds. And I will explain why we're using the Ace of Diamonds. When I tear the card, so it's in a quarter, we're just using 1/4 of the card. The Ace of Diamonds will allow just a little bit of this diamond to show, and you'll never see that. You can either white it out, so you don't see it at all, use a little bit of white out, but I never have, and you can't see it when it's inside the box. So that's the reason we're using the Ace of Diamonds. And what you'll do is fold it in half this way. Try and get it as neatly as possible. Bend it over, fold it back. You do this a couple times, just making it easier to tear. Okay? And then fold it lengthwise, like so. Okay? Back and forth a few times. All right? You can either cut this with scissors, or you can just tear it, and I just tear them. Tear them right on the creases you just made. Like that. So obviously each Ace of Diamonds you use will give you 2 cards, so you can make 2 boxes, okay? You don't want to use the corner cards, you get rid of those, and all you need are these. So now, basically what we're gonna do is split this card, put a piece of magnetic tape inside of it, and then glue it back together. That turns this into basically a magnet card, all right? So don't be nervous of splitting a card. A lot of people are scared about doing this, but just practice it and you'll get pretty good at it pretty quickly. For this one, I actually use an X-Acto knife. If I'm splitting a whole card, I'll bang it on the table, but in this case, I use an X-Acto knife, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. The one thing you're gonna wanna make sure, with every card, there's 3 layers. You've got the front layer, which is a thin piece of paper, the back layer, which is a thin piece of paper, and in between is a thicker piece of paper. Okay, so you're gonna split it so you're getting just the back layer of the card. Okay? You don't want to split the front layer, you want to split the back layer, so that's the thin piece. And I will show you exactly how to do that with an X-Acto knife. I'm going to start at the corner here where it's already ripped. You can see what I'm doing is just getting a little piece of just the back layer going. Okay? We will have a little disclaimer here, but obviously be careful because you're using an X-Acto knife. Take your time. You can see that that's peeling up just a little bit. All right, so that is just the paper layer of the back of the card. Then you've got a thicker cardboard layer and the front layer. So I'm going just the back layer here, okay? What I'm doing is just applying a little pressure from my thumb on the back, using the X-Acto knife to kind of pinch it in place and raise up just a little bit. Just like so. Now once you have about this much of the card, you're good to go. What you're gonna do next, we'll do it right on the table here. You need a hard surface. You're gonna push the face or the back of the card will be towards the table. And what I'm gonna do is apply pressure to the paper backing as I peel the thicker layer off. So I take that little corner on the table. I'm actually going to split this just a little further to get it started. I'm doing that just with my fingers here. Very carefully peeling it back. And go from side to side so it doesn't get caught on it, either of these. You just peel nice and slow, like so. Okay? Once that's done, put my finger here and peel upward. Now this finger is very important to apply even pressure towards the ends. So as I get this much, I'm going to put both fingers here so they're on the extreme edges as I peel backwards. Every time you peel a little further, just move your fingers in a little further each time. You can see I'm staying right towards the edge here. Okay, and I'll show you how far to peel. To right about there. Okay, so I've peeled that much of the card. Okay, and go ahead and straighten it out a bit. And you're good to go. The next thing we're going to do is take the magnetic tape. And you're going to want it so it is about 1/8 of an inch from end to end. So almost the entire length of the card, but you leave a little bit of space so when you glue the card back together, those ends will close up. Okay? What you're going to do is jam it as far into this as you can. So you just peel back, stick it in there, and it's taped, so you just push down and it will adhere, just like so. And then I put the flap back over it and just push down nice and firm. Okay? Next step, glue stick. Do it here. You're gonna glue over the entire thing. And you don't have to be shy with this glue. You wanna put a good amount on there and make sure that this area has a lot of glue on it, the front area has a lot of glue, and this area as well. And you go right over the tape. So you just put the glue on top of the entire thing. Okay, once that's done, I start from the middle of the back of the card, push forward, and then go to the edges. Just like so. Once you've got it there, then you can push down nice and hard and make sure all of the sides are sealed up. I'm pushing outward just to get any air bubbles or anything that might have gotten up into there, under there, out of there. So we just push. Make sure all the sides are nice and firm. Okay, and that's it. That is your gimmick card. I usually put this in a book, a big heavy book, let it sit for an hour or so, but it's not necessary, as long as you keep it nice and flat. So now you've just got your flap card made with magnetized tape inside of it. So now that you've made your flap card with the magnet inside of it, magnetic tape, what you're gonna do is glue it to the inside of the box. I'm sorry, tape it to the inside of the box. Take a small piece of Scotch tape. You're gonna put it on this side, the rough edge of the card, okay? So the sticky part of the tape will be facing towards you. About half of its length, stuck there. And this is gonna go inside the card box. It's gonna be taped to the top end, the end with the flap. That's gonna help for some camouflage later, okay? So it's essentially gonna be in the box this way. You just stick it on here like so. Let it kind of float till you get it in the position you want. Once it's in the correct position, I'm just holding it with my fingers there. Once it's in the correct position, I just move my fingers down and stick the tape to the top of the box. That gives you that. So that is another reason that I put the flap gimmick card in a book for a few hours, to get it nice and flat. Because what you want it to be, once it's locked in place, is that, nice and flush. Okay? So the next step is to put the magnet on the box. And what you'll want to do is you'll flap the card upward and move the magnet. And you'll notice as you move the magnet around, certain parts of it, the card will be more flush. So basically what you're going to want to do is move it as far upward as you can before the card falls. As soon as that card falls, bring it back just a little bit, and you'll see it's locked in place. What you're trying to do is get the magnet as close to the end of the card as possible. So once it's there, where it needs to be, you take your piece of tape, and just place a piece of tape to hold that magnet in place. Just like that. Okay? Now the next part is you'll take a duplicate box. I'm going to take a second box, cut the face of the box off to right here. You'll see that line right there. Okay? So when you fold the box back, all card boxes have kind of a secondary fold here. So the first one is where the flap goes, and the second one is where they cut the box to. That's where you're going to want to cut your card box, right there. And you cut the edges nice and flush, and you glue the second cover right on top. So you can see this one's already made. and you can see the magnet underneath there, but don't worry about that. No one in the real world will ever see that. So you take your glue stick again, glue all the edges, push down nice and hard. The way I do it is I stick a deck inside there, put the glue on, and just with the deck in there, you can push nice and hard on all the edges. And that is your gimmicked card box. Okay? And you'll notice if you look inside very closely, you can see the flap stuck up there, which is why we use this, why we glue it to this side. So that's kind of a little bit of a cover for it. If you're really paranoid about it, which you really shouldn't be. I've done this hundreds of times, and all you're doing is showing somebody there's a folded card in the box, you dump it out, show an empty box, there's no heat on this whatsoever. But if you are nervous about that, here is your solution. You take a deck of Fathoms. Fathoms work great because what I'm doing is Sharpieing the entire inside of the deck. So I take a big Sharpie, I undo the deck very carefully, I just split it here, open the entire thing up, and Sharpied the entire inside of the box. Now the reason I use a Fathom deck is because very white decks with white boxes, the Sharpie will bleed through. On the Fathom, it doesn't bleed through as much. And Fathom cards are very bright. They're very white and bright. So if I have one inside the box, which is painted black, it sticks out really well. You can see it very clearly. Okay? And this one, when it vanishes, is gone. It's like a black art, and it works really well. So if you want to go that route, go for it. You know, it's just a really nice way to conceal it. But like I said, in the performances I do, I don't even take the time to do that. I just use it with the regular box like this, and I've never been busting. Okay, so that's a solution for people who are worried about that. All right, guys, this is the routine for Boxer. You're gonna set it up by, once you've got your gimmicked card box made, you take a playing card to unhitch the gimmick. You just slide a playing card in there and push it downward. Sometimes you can actually just tap it down and it'll fall down. Once that's like this, you close the box, set that to the side, okay? You're going to take one card from a deck that matches whatever card gimmick box you've made and place it into a separate deck. So I'm going to use Tundra, Artifice Tundra, as the deck I'm performing with. And since my gimmicked box is made with green Artifice, that's the Stranger card that I use. Okay? That goes second from the top, just like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to force that card second from the top without ever showing the back. So as I come out, I set the gimmicked card box down and explain that there's a surprise in that card box. That's kind of a box of mystery that we'll get to in a minute. Then I introduce this deck. I spread over to show it's all white, and I'm just pushing off a group so I don't spread that. And I say I'm going to have you pick a card from here. Cut it into the middle, holding a break. So I'm holding a break on top of the gimmicked card. I riffle force to that. They say stop there. I put my finger in here like I'm gonna lift from there. But in reality, I cut to the break. Okay? So that force would look like this. Say stop right there. Excellent. And I pick everything up at the break. Okay? Once I've done that, I need to do a double lift. So I just do a strike double. You can do whatever you want, pinky count. Do a double lift and turn over the card. I say, interesting, very interesting. I knew you would be drawn to this card. I knew you were going to pick this card. So let's make it pretty special for you. Go ahead and sign it for me, which they do. PM for cameraman there. Okay, so they've just signed it. I do a double again and say we're going to lose it into the pack. We'll just give them a mix. It's from another trick. Okay? What I'm doing there is just a overhand shuffle. In the first group, I peel off back about half the length. So that's going to give me a break. Keep shuffling. I can lift up on that break and cut it back to the top. Okay, so you've had the card, stranger back card signed, and then apparently lost into the middle of the deck. And I speak to them about how I knew they were going to be drawn to that card, and a lot of times people don't even know it, but certain cards show up to them over and over again. So we'll see if they can find their card again. And all I'm doing is cutting these two cards to the bottom. So I get a break under them, double undercut them to the bottom. Okay, so now their signed card is here. I'll say we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to riffle down and see if you can find that card again. See if there's a connection between you and the card. They say stop, and you do what's called the ballet cut by John Gustafaro. It's a beautiful move. He gave me permission to teach this. You should really check his work out. He's got some of the most creative card magic I've ever seen. But this is just a gorgeous cut. It's a false cut, but you can also use it as a force. Okay, so you're going to riffle down. Wherever they say stop, you do so. You very cleanly cut where they said stop. And the ballet cut is you're going to kick the top half over into your left hand. You're holding the bottom packet with your thumb and second finger, and you're going to throw the packet up as you pivot that over. And then this will rotate in the air. So it will rotate and land like that. So it's hard to do slow, but at speed it looks like this. They say stop here, you say you sure right there. We'll cut exactly where you stopped, and you found your card again. And it's just great, people love that. It fools them. It doesn't look like it should fool them, but it does. It looks exactly like you're cutting where they said stop and showing the card. Okay? So you've done that. They've said stop, you forced the card back on them. Say, you found it again, that's excellent. Now what I'm going to do is turn the entire deck over again and say, we'll mix it up again and see if you can find it one last time. And I'm just doing some Hindu shuffles, but keeping their card on the bottom. You can do some false cuts, making it look really lost. And for the second time, say, I want to see if you can find your card. So just when you'd like, say stop. Boom, right there, perfect. And there you go, you found it again. Now at this point, I say, the funny thing is I actually knew I was going to meet you today. I knew you were going to be drawn to an ace of hearts. Then I draw attention to the stranger box. I say, would it be impressive if I took a different card from a green deck and placed it in there knowing before we even met that you were going to pick an ace of hearts? And then usually they'll say, yeah, that would be great. So you draw attention to the box, which gives you time to cut this to the top of the deck. So I just double undercut it to the top. Okay, so I've now got the stranger card on the top of the deck with the deck facing upward. What I'm going to do is the Mercury card fold. Okay? And the Mercury card fold is pushing down my thumb directly in the center of the deck. My left hand pushes downward to fold it once. My thumb holds that there. Once it hits my thumb, once my two fingers hit my thumb, I curl them inward, folding it a second time. Now this all happens under the deck, and then I end in this position. I don't crease it completely yet. I come back over with my right hand and gesture, and then I crease everything. I increase the entire card. Okay? So that's a Mercury card fold. Awesome, awesome little move. Once you get it down, you can do it very quickly. You'd have it here, gesture, squeeze, everything tight. Okay, one last time just so you get it. That's the position. Come over with the left hand, push downward, squeeze inward, and it goes to the bottom of the deck. Gesture, come over and crease, okay? So you've Mercury card folded this, you've got it on the bottom of the deck, and you've said, wouldn't it be amazing if I knew you were gonna pick an ace of hearts, and I put it in that box before we started. Now I'm gonna place the deck down as I palm this off. I place the deck down, and the Mercury folded card gets palmed off. I draw attention to the box, pick the box up, open the flap, and they'll see a folded card. Show the folded card around to everybody. And then as I would dump the card out, this comes into play. So it's gonna look like I'm just dumping the card out. That's gonna magnetize the flap, which will make that card disappear. So the illusion is perfect that I've folded a card, placed it inside the box, and you act like it's a little hard to get out, because it would be if there was a folded card in there. Dump it out, show the box empty, briefly show it around. You don't want to draw too much attention and say, see, nothing left. You just briefly show it, nothing left in the box, and then I toss it off to the side. Now at this point, I say now, it's not only an ace, or I fold back just the corner so I can just show them the ace of hearts and say, I did make a prediction, and it is also the ace of hearts. Say, I want to take it a step further and do something really special with your card. So we'll take the signature off the card from the white deck, toss it onto this one. And now at this moment, you can open the card and they'll see the signature. Really strong moment. The way that this is routine is perfect because they see a green card in a green box. You've just been doing magic with a white card that they've seen over and over again. So when you dump this out, they go, okay, that was a prediction, that's pretty neat. And this moment here is just great. You can leave them with that as a souvenir. All right, guys, this is a quick bonus routine to use with Boxer. What you're going to do is take a finger ring, place it into the box, behind the card flap, and then close the flap. So that flap now is hiding the ring. You set that off to the side, and you can always know the ring will be at this angle. You just, when you bring the box out, you just hold it at this angle. The ring will come down here and will be covered by the flap, so you're good to go. So that's set off to the side, closed. And then you make a finger ring out of a playing card. And all I've done is taken a playing card, fold it nice and small, crease it, and then you just work it around into a circle. This doesn't have to be perfect, you're gonna give it away, but you do wanna mark the card. So this was the 8 of hearts. That's the card I would force in this routine. So you make it nice and small, place a piece of tape right there, holding it together. Now you've got a playing card finger ring, okay? This goes in your left pocket. So we'll pretend that's off to the side in my left pocket. And you take a duplicate. So this ring is actually a jack of clubs. So I would take the duplicate jack of clubs and force that card. So come out, force the card any way you'd like. Have them say stop, they say stop, say great, remember your card. Excellent. So they've taken the jack. Say I'm gonna do something special with it here. I'm gonna fold it into quarters. I'm going to place this inside the card box. So you show their jack, pick the card box up towards yourself, show the jack again. So I'm going to prop it up inside there. And what I'm doing is just pretending to put it in. Then as I come out, I've got it palmed, and I immediately show that it's in the box. So really all you're doing is pretending to put it in. As you go in there, you come back out with it finger palmed, and show that it's in the box. So the retention of vision is folded card, goes in the box, there it is, right? Then I go in for a Sharpie and to dump this. Okay, so this ring is in my pocket, in my right pocket, I'm sorry. As I go in to pull out a Sharpie, I should have mentioned that. You need a Sharpie and that in your right front pocket. This goes in, I dump that card, pull the Sharpie out, and slide this onto my finger, all in one motion. Okay, so that's a quick action. Dump the card, grab the Sharpie, and come out like this. I'm handing the spectator the Sharpie, say we're gonna use this as a makeshift wand. And I'm just hiding that this ring is here. So you just keep your hand down, they grab the Sharpie. Perfect. I draw attention to the card in the box. Say on 3, watch your card. 1, 2, 3. You get this beautiful moment of the card vanishing and turning to a ring. Okay? So if that's my wedding ring, if your card has changed places with my wedding ring, where my ring was, is now your card. Okay? So you can either visually change it, boom, like that, and show your finger. You can dump it out into your hand and show that where the ring was is now that. So just take a look at this one more time. This is just this is actually a Justin Miller idea. I showed him this box and he said, transposition, put a ring behind it, it'll look great, and it really does. So you show the card, 1, 2, 3, show that it turns into a ring. And then I tilt this down just so they're not staring too hard at that. Then you can show this ring, and I always give it to them and say, you can keep this forever and just believe me that that's your card, or you can open it up and see for yourself. And when they open this up, this is the duplicate of the Jack of Clubs that you forced on them. So just a little bonus thing you can do with this, but really with this box, the sky's the limit. Get really creative with it, and this is my baby. I really enjoy this. So I'd love to hear what you guys come up with. If you come up with some cool routines using it, let me know. Thanks. This is pop production, okay? Set up, 2 jacks of alternating color on the bottom face up. 1 jack face up, second from top, the last jack face down. So 2 jacks, and then on the bottom, 2 more. You're gonna side steal the bottom jack to start. And when you side steal, my recommendation is to not use your first finger because there's motion there. Use your ring finger, keep your first finger still, push it over with your ring finger, and you're side stealing it to here, then re-gripping. The next move, peeling the top card off and levering it up like that. Your right hand with your second finger kicks that jack over. You re-grip. You're still palming this card. You do another side steal. We'll do this from underneath. So you side steal it over without stealing it, and then your right hand pushes off of it. So it gives kind of an appearance. The final move is to lever this card. You open your hand slightly, which will lever that card out. Stick your thumb in and grasp with your thumb and your first finger as you let it pop off your hand. And you just place it in the middle, and that's your ending position. All right, we're gonna walk through pop production one more time just to give all the fine points here. To start, you can spread to show the deck. You just block pushing off so you don't flash that card, and you don't spread past those. So I spread over, show the deck, do some false cuts, shows a bunch of backs. As I come over, I use my ring finger to steal, square up. That's all in the action of just squaring the deck. So it looks like I've done my false cuts. I square the deck. My thumb puts pressure here. As I peel about half the deck in the right hand, I'm peeling just the top card and levering it over and outward a bit. Okay, it's hard to do slow, but it looks like that. Once I've done that, my right hand kicks that over as I grip again in my right hand. Side steal here, push downward. Then I just straighten my hand a bit to buckle that card outward so I can get my thumb in, let it pop off, and then put that in the middle. That is pop production, just a really fun, easy 4 ace, 4 jack, 4 of any kind of card production. Hope you dig it.